Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. Feels weird saying that. But anyways, today I wanted to do a quick video about how I do my normal foundation for the weekend or something like that if I'm going to go out, and take you through that routine using foundation, concealer, bronzer, blush, and all of that good stuff. I will be doing this. I won't be doing eyeshadow or anything like that. I'm just going to give you the base makeup. I usually do eyeshadow before I would do my foundation, just to make sure I can wipe off any fallout that goes underneath there. But today is just going to be the foundation. So I have all my products in front of me, and what I started out doing was moisturizing my face. So I just used, I think it's the St. Ives Collagen Moisturizer in like the little tub. So I used that and I exfoliated my face real quick, and then I put that on top of it. Always moisturize your face, whether you feel like you have oily skin, dry skin, combo, whatever. Make sure you find a good moisturizer that works for you, whether that's oil-free, whatever you need to do. Starting off with good skin is how it depends on how well your makeup will look as well. You can put as much makeup on your face as you want, but if you don't start by taking care of your skin to the best that you can, I know it's difficult sometimes, but that will make the biggest difference in how you apply your foundation and what other makeup products work for you as well. So it's taken me a while, but I have found products that work for me, and I've been using them consistently for the past couple of months. I haven't noticed any flare-ups or breakouts, except for today. I have like a couple and like a little bit of redness on my cheeks, but I did just exfoliate. Okay, so after moisturizing, I don't always use this. Rarely will I use a primer unless I really want to hit my trouble spots on my face that I notice really get oily, more so in my T-zone, which would be right up through here, a little bit down my nose, and my chin. I do get oily throughout the day, but I have no problem blotting or putting some face powder on. So we're going to do the primer today. This is the Soap & Glory One Heck of a Blot Primer. It has Shine Block 12 Hour with matte spheres and pore shrink technology. So this will help fill your pores and keep you matte. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that, just a small amount. I rub it between my fingers to warm it up a little bit, and then I'm just going to kind of pat it in those areas. I feel like with certain skincare, you're supposed to press it into the skin rather than, just kind of dragging it, massaging it around. I feel like this helps the best, just kind of patting it until I get it dry. I wouldn't say I notice a huge difference using this, but it does help, because I feel like my pores are most visible on my forehead. It does help a little bit. Okay, I'll let that dry a little bit. And then we're going to go with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. I use this all the time. Like, if I know I'm going to have my picture taken, or there's going to be flash photography, just anything like that, I will go to this foundation over anything. It doesn't have any flashback. It blends so well. Kind of smells a little funky, but I can get past that. I've had worse smells with makeup products. Doesn't bother me. So my self-tan is about all worn off, but I'm using the bronze beige shade. And it comes in like a little paddle, which is kind of nice. So I'm just going to dab that on, grab my mirror real quick. The brush that I'm using is Real Techniques Contour Brush. Let's use, this is the e.l.f. Cosmetics Ultimate Blending Brush. That's what we're going to use. So I just kind of dotted that on one side of my face, and then I'm going to use this to buff in the foundation. I have a few dry spots on my face. It's kind of clinging to that a little bit. This is buildable, so Right now what I'm putting on, it's more of, I would say, medium coverage than full coverage. And depending on how my skin is acting will determine whether or not I want to add a little bit more. But we'll just blend in this first layer and then go back and see if any more needs to be added to any certain areas. And I'm going to go back in a few spots that I'm noticing some redness. I don't know about you guys, but I have a lot of trouble with foundation staying on my nose. I don't get super oily, but I feel like the foundation just disappears, and I've been trying and trying and trying to find different ways to make it stay, and I just haven't found anything that works yet. I didn't realize how dark it was getting outside, so I hope that this is coming through well. Oh. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. I was like just tapping the screen and then it would get like crazy light, crazy dark. Okay, so next what I'm gonna do is kind of put a little bit of this along my jawline and my neck a little bit, just to make sure that it blends in well, which I don't self-tan my face because I exfoliate a lot and it's just kind of pointless to do that. So I usually do this to make sure that my face blends in with my neck, and I do this on clients too, bringing it down, making sure that it blends in. I also put foundation along my eyelids because I would rather have foundation and concealer than like a shadow primer or anything like that. Okay, scoot a little closer here. Next thing we're going to do is apply our concealer. So for concealer, everyday use, I'll only use my Maybelline, but if I am doing my makeup to go out, I will go to my Tarte Shape Tape. This is so good. If you have not tried this, go get it. I know it's expensive. It's like, I think it's $27, but get it, try it. This has lasted me so long, so long. It is so worth it. The coverage that you get is just, it's fantastic. There's a reason that people are obsessed with it. So I use it sparingly because a little goes a long way. So I'll use the Tarte Shape Tape only on the darkest parts of my eyes, which is usually kind of around the bridge of my nose and then the corner of my eye. So I'm just going to kind of place this there. I know it'll look funny for a second, but we're going to blend it out. And I'm using the shade Fair Neutral. Then I'm going to take my Maybelline Super Stay Better Skin. This is in the shade Ivory. And I'm just going to kind of drag it down. Applying our concealer in a triangle motion, not only straight across. And I also apply concealer to my eyelids as a base for my eyeshadow and to cover up any of the discoloration. Next, take a damp beauty sponge. It's dirty, I know I use it though. And you're going to take the rounded tip part and then just start to blend out. Gently pressing on the skin, getting into that inner corner, blending out and blending down. So you want to kind of get that whole cheek area. And again, you don't have to use a lot of concealer to do this. I know some people just kind of like dot it on. Just kind of however much coverage that you're wanting for the look you're going for. And then I just take that and blend it in to my eyelid. Before, after. My neighbor is mowing his grass, like right across the street. I'm sitting in front of my window, probably looking at me like I'm a crazy person. Again, blending it out, blending it down, kind of covering the whole cheekbone, and a little bit here. You can also do this with a brush. I just feel like a beauty blender works the best for me. Okay, next we're going to do a little bit of highlighting. So I highlight the forehead, a little bit on the nose, and then the chin. Same beauty blender. I use the flat part and just blend that out. All right, then next we're going to go into powder, setting powder, because we need to set what we just put on. And today I'm going to use, this is the Coty Airspun powder. This is supposed to be a dupe for the Laura Mercier, which I normally use the Laura Mercier translucent powder, but I am out of my personal stash. So I picked this up from Walmart. I think this was like $5 or $6. And it's supposed to be a good dupe. It is very messy. That's the only thing I do not like about it. I'd have to like put this in a different container for me to like really love it. I've only worn this I think once, and I've had my photo taken. I think that it causes flashback, but I'm not super positive. And if you haven't, flashback is like when you take a photo and then the flash goes off and your face is just white. It does not match the rest of your body. And that is what you want to avoid, especially whenever you're doing makeup for weddings and stuff like that. Make sure that if someone is doing your makeup and you're going to have like dark lighting or anything like that, outdoor lighting, it's not too bad. Usually the white cast won't show, but if it's nighttime, evening time, you have that flash right in your face, you want to make sure that you're using a photo-friendly foundation, photo-friendly products in general, because even your primer can make your flashback show up as well. So making sure you're going through and checking all that. Okay, so next I'm going to set my under eyes with that powder. What I do is go back, because my under eyes crease a lot. So I go back and kind of blend it out where it has already kind of creased up, and then I'll go into my powder with a brush. This is the Real Techniques contour brush. I just kind of put it on the end there, tap off a little bit, and press it in. I know a lot of people do the baking on their face to set their powders. I don't like to do, I've done it and it makes your makeup stay on, but up close and personal, I don't feel like it's ever looked good on my skin. I just feel like it makes it look really cakey and dry. So I just kind of press it on and then I buff it off after that. I don't really leave it on there to bake or anything like that. Okay, so then I'm going to take that same powder and just kind of buff it all over my face. It does kind of smell like an old lady. Yeah. But as far as consistency and stuff, I say it's pretty close to the Laura Mercier. Feels pretty good and whatnot. Okay, then we're going to move on to bronzer. For bronzer, I'm going to use my Benefit Hoola bronzer. This is the OG. It's just so good. You can use this one. I have my Butter bronzer out here too, but I think this is the Physicians Formula kind. But we're going to go with the Hoola today. And I'll show you guys how to apply my bronzer. And it is important to have bronzer. Like if I had two things that I could, things of makeup that I would want with me. Mascara and bronzer. Those are my two favorites. Okay, so for bronzer, I like to apply it in the 3 shape on both sides of my face. So swirl it in there, tap it off, and kind of go in between the area between your cheekbone and where it kind of sinks in your cheek. So not up here, not down here, but kind of right in the center there. I almost went into my eyeshadow palette. I'm using that mirror. I almost dipped it in there. Now this bronzer is pretty dark on me. I would say I have self-tan on, but it is fading. But they also make a Hoola light that I know a couple of my friends have, and that color is amazing. All right, next we're gonna go on to the forehead and temples. Again, doing that 3 motion. I feel like that's a general one that works best for everyone. Even on my clients, this is what I'll do as well. Other side. It just really adds dimension to your face after you do the highlighting with the concealer and the highlighting on your forehead. Like, do you see just how this kind of looks? It looks slimmer. I have more of a round, heartish shaped face, I guess. I don't know. And I just feel like it really draws in my cheekbones. And then blend it down. Want some definition there. And just go through and make sure that it looks seamless. Okay, then next we're gonna take a different brush. This is the, oh, by the way, that brush was just a Bare Minerals Flawless Face. I've had this for years. It is just, it's the perfect shape to apply bronzer. I feel like this is their foundation brush, I think. But this is a really good one for a bronzer. Next, I'm going to do a little bit of bronzer on my nose, not to really like carve it out or contour it a lot, just to give a little definition on there. So I tapped that in, tapped off the excess, and I'm gonna go down like the bridge of my nose very lightly first. I don't want a lot of bronzer to be there. And then kind of buff it in on the side. Same thing over here, going down the side of the bridge of my nose. A little bit on the corner there. Just a little definition, nothing crazy. And then while we still have the bronzer, I'm gonna put a little bit of that into my crease. Because for this video, I'm not gonna do eyeshadow or anything like that. But on days where I don't normally do eyeshadow, I at least put some in my crease just to get a little bit of definition. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna take an eyeshadow brush. This is the Morphe E22 brush. It's a fluffy synthetic. And I'm just going to put this right in my crease. Again, eyes open. In my next video, I'm gonna do another eyeshadow tutorial, and I'm going to use these new brushes that I ordered from Amazon. When I do makeup for bridal clients or other jobs, I am always having to like really wash my makeup or my eyeshadow brushes constantly, and I just decided that I needed to get just more. Instead of buying the ones that I have, I found some on Amazon that were pretty cheap and they looked really good, had really good reviews, so I got those. So I'll do a video using those with kind of like a little tutorial. They were like $10 for a pack of 10 and then another $10 for a pack of 20. So stay tuned for that. Almost done here with that. Okay, so just a little bit, just enough to get some definition so it's not so flat. All right, next we're gonna move on to blush. For blush, I'm gonna use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Blush Kit. These are fabulous. I got this at TJ Maxx. TJ Maxx like has random designer makeup, and I just happened to come upon this and I was like, oh, I need to have you. I think it was like $20, $14, I don't even know. They're so pretty. So pretty. I love all of them. You barely need to put your brush in these. These will last you forever. The shelf life is 12 months. It will always say on the back for your makeup. Make sure you watch those right here, 12 months. But it will last you forever. I love it. So I'm going to take this shade here. This is called Coastline. It's supposed to be this way, but the mirror. And then this shade here, which is Breeze. So literally, once there, tap it off. It is so pigmented. And then we're going to apply that to apples of the cheeks and kind of up a little bit. That looks pretty good. Okay, done with that. Next, highlighter. For highlight for my clients, I usually use the Anastasia Glow Kit highlighters. Those are amazing. They're so good. But for my personal highlight, what did I do with it? I have the, oh, here it is. This is the Tarte Exposed Highlight, and this is the Amazonian Clay Highlighter. This is so pretty. It is so pretty. Like, look at that. And it smells so good. It smells like vanilla, like chocolate vanilla. This is a great highlighter, by the way. Okay, so top of the cheekbone, kind of going at an angle. Whoa. I even tapped all of that off. Okay. I haven't used this in a while. So I go down the cheekbone, kind of up a little bit too. And then I'm also going to take a little bit down at the bridge of my nose, in the tip of my nose, and a little bit on my Cupid's bow. Whew, that's glowing. All right, that part is done. So that's usually what I do for my face. Next, I'm gonna move on and do my eyebrows really quick. I do have my eyebrows microbladed. So I don't always do them, but if I go out, I usually fill them in a little bit. So I use the Anastasia Brow Powder Duo. This is the best I've ever had. Any powder I worked with. Just the brand in general is great for eyebrows. I use it for all my clients, and I find it works really well using the actual brush that they recommend as well. It's the Anastasia number 12 brush. Has the spoolie on this end and then the brush on the opposite end. It is a smaller brush, but just work with it. It's probably the best thing to use with that. So I'll come up close to my eyebrows here. So I do have them microbladed, which they've kind of faded a little bit. I'm due for a touch-up, but I usually fill in definitely underneath here because this is where most of the microblading that I had on that eye is. And then I have a scar over here that I make sure I cover as well. So I'm gonna go through and do that. So I take it and I start from the inner corner. I'll try and get a little closer. So just kind of drawing along the shape I already have. Again, this is just when I want a little more like a makeup look. Otherwise, I normally don't fill them in. And if you haven't done, or if you don't do anything to your eyebrows, give it a try, because you'll be amazed at how much it makes the look. Like, your makeup just looks so much better. Like, look at that. Already, I tell such a difference. There's one done. I'm trying to work quickly. I don't want this video to be so long, because I don't know how to edit anything, so we're getting straight up iPhone video footage here, which I felt like was pretty good for my other one I uploaded. I didn't think it was horrible. Sorry, I'm not looking into the camera, but there's no way I'd be able to do my eyebrows just looking there. Best thing for eyebrows. If I had to try and sell you something from this video, it would be the Brow Powder Duo. And the brush. Get the brush too. The brush. Okay. So I'm just going to put that back. And then what I normally do is I go over my brows with a brow gel. My natural hair is pretty dark, and then I have blonde ombre balayage highlights all the way through. So I take a blonde a blonde brow gel, and I'll just kind of go over the brows to kind of lighten them up a little bit. And also help them stay in place. Okay, so that's basically it for just doing a full face of makeup. I'll kind of move around to get in some better lighting. Here we go.